Project budget management. Budget management consists of a series of tasks and steps designed to help manage the costs of the project. These steps are: defining the budget, executing the budget, controlling the budget, and updating the budget. Project budget management include the following documents or sources of information: Work breakdown structure, WBS, project contract or initial budget, resource requirements, resource cost estimates, activity duration estimates, historical information, market conditions, donor and organization policies, and chart of accounts structure, COA. The work breakdown structure, WBS, is the tool that utilizes this technique and is one of the most important project management documents. It single-handedly integrates scope, cost, and schedule baselines, ensuring that project plans are in alignment. Resource requirements. Determining what resources, people, equipment, services, and material, and the quantities of those resources are required to complete the project. There are typical types of resources under which all requirements can be grouped. 1. Human or labor resources, including staff from the organization, or hired for the duration of the project. Consultants who bring a high-level technical expertise that is not found in the organization or in the local labor market. 2. Equipment and material resources, includes equipment, include all the specialized tools needed by the project. From water pumps to electrical generators that will be used by the project or delivered to the beneficiaries. It also includes the need for vehicles and office equipment such as computers and printers. The materials include a wider category of requirements such as utility services like electricity, telephone lines, access to the internet, office material, office space, and used by the project. The material may also include building materials that will be used to build facilities, or food and medicines that will be delivered to the beneficiaries. Resource cost estimates. Next step after project requirements are documented is to determining the costs of each requirement, which will result in the creation of the project budget. A cost estimate, which is the process to approximate the costs that the project will spend to get or use the project resources. Development of project budgets typically requires more than one person. A good process is to have the same people who reviewed the WBS activity list and schedule review the budget. Upon completion of a draft budget, interview the team and determine if the work descriptions, schedule, and associated budgets are complete and accurate. There are 3 types of budget estimates that occur during the project cycle. First type is the rough estimate. Project managers develop the first budget estimate used before or during the project initiation phase, to get a quick estimate of what would the costs of the project be, to see if there is an interest in the organization or donor. The second is contract estimate. This is the estimate that most of the time goes into a proposal, and it's the basis for project negotiations between the donor and the organization. The last one is definitive estimate. This type of estimate is usually made during the planning phase of the project to get detailed information on all the project costs, and it uses the organization chart of accounts to track costs in the accounting system. And used for estimating final project costs, and used for making purchase decisions where the actual costs are required before making payments. Estimate a budget methods. 1. Analogous, uses the actual costs of a previous, similar project for the basis for estimating the costs of the current project. This method is generally less costly than others, takes less time but is less accurate. 2. Top-down estimate, it is used when the total project budget is known. In this method, the project determines the number of activities or outputs the project can produce with a given budget, which will be broken down using the WBS to determine the number or quantity of activities that can be achieved with the budget. 3. Bottom-up estimate, requires estimating the activities and the cost of each input and is adding them up to get the project total. A detailed WBS is needed to determine all the activities in the project and determine all required resources. 4. Parametric estimates, use standardized parameters that define the costs of an activity or task for a specific rate or output. For example, the costs of training one person are a rate that can include people, material, and equipment costs that once it is multiplied for the required number of people that need to be trained, gives the total budget for the activity. Budget phasing. Once the project budget has been reviewed and approved, the next step is to create a budget baseline. The baseline is a time-phased budget that project managers use to measure and monitor budget performance. The baseline will be used to compare with the actual costs incurred by the project as it makes progress. Every month new data come from the expenses in personnel, purchases of goods and services, and other project expenses such as benefits and shared costs.